Hello everyone, welcome back to the .NET Office. In this video, we are going to discuss about the new feature which got introduced under Angular version 17.2. So now Angular version 17.2 is available and it is released on February 14, 2024. With this release, there are some of the new features got introduced. So those features we are going to discuss with an example. So first feature that we are going to discuss, that is the experimental material 3 support. So Material 3 is basically now supported under this version 17.2 and it will be still use of the Material 2. So now if we will talk a little bit about the Material 3. So Material 3 is basically in Google open source like design pattern. Now what is the use of this? It's basically a alternative theme that is compatible with Angular material component. Now what is the component means, like mat button, mat card or mat icon. So with these component, now Material 3 is supported and compatible. Now it is basically from where we can get it. We can get it using the Mixins library that we are going to see in a bit. From there we can access and we can use with the materials. Now it's basically, as I discussed, it is an alternative theme that help us to make improvement of the design of our material component. Now for an example is basically if we want to understand. So here I have taken one component. So in this component what I did, I have mat card, mat button. So these are the two things, and I'm using light theme and dark theme. So these are the two classes I'm using. And if you will go in the CSSO Matex, I'm getting this material experimental. So these are the library. From there we can use, and accordingly we can define the SAS CSS. Basically we can define, and that we can use in our component. So this Material 3 theme is based on the design, and it is basically implemented as CSS custom property that allow us easily to override the theme without increasing CSS selector. So this is the use of this experimental Material 3. So that is the first feature which got introduced with this. Now next, if we will talk about, that is the signal queries. Now the purpose of the signal query is basically, a signal query is a wrapper around a value that like notify us whenever there is any value changes. Now for an example, this signal can contain any type of the value, like it can contain the complex data, simple primitive data, such kind of the data also it will like contain. A signal value is always read only, means we can access it using the getter function, and it allows us to track wherever the signal it is in use. Now for an example, like view child, view children decorators, or ng after view units lifecycle hooks are now under this signal based alternatives. So for an example, if we will try to understand this signal query with an example, so let's go to the Visual Studio. Here what I have done, in the template I have taken a div, and here I have taken hash ELE, and I have given some value to this one. Now as I told, like these view child and view children decorator are now signal based alternative. Now what we can do, we can directly use this as a signal. So here you can see I have used it like what I'm trying to do here in this variable. I'm trying to get this element value, like directly we can get this element value using the view child. So this is the way, like we can directly get it, like view child value we can directly get it. Now if I want to take the value of the view children, so directly that also I can take, like for an example I'm taking this value, and how I can take using the view children. So with that way what I can do, I can take this value as well. So this is the way like we can directly get the value. So now view child, so with this Angular version 17.2, these things we can directly use under this one. So these are the with related to the decorator. Now if I will talk about the ng after view unit. So ng after view unit is basically replaced by the signal effect. So now we no need of the ng after view unit lifecycle rule. We can perform it using the signal effect, and that signal effect will be directly used in the like constructor. So how we can do that? So let's understand that part also with an example. So for an example here, I'm using it. So now I have formatted this code, and here you can see now this effect, it will be used in the Angular version 17.2, and here you can see instead of using that ng after view unit, we can directly use the effect under the constructor, and with the inside that we can write it anything. So this is the way we can replace ng after view unit lifecycle with signal effect. Now if we talk about the next which got introduced, that is the model input. Now this model input is basically what we have, like with this model input, we have the signal based alternative to the ng model. Now previously for two-way data binding we used to have the ng model, but they with this 17.2 model means MODEL model, a new regular API got introduced, and with that now what we can do, we can perform the two-way data binding. So it's basically simplify alternative in our DOM element. Like if I want to do any manipulation in our DOM element using this model API, we can do very simply. So to understand this one, let's go here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this with the new code. So what I have done here, you will see this is the model, which is the new regular API got introduced. Currently I am in Angular version 17.1. It's not 17.2. So these are giving some error. So now what I can do, I can see here, this is the value which I can, here what we used to have the ng model. So now instead of this ng model directly, what we can do, we can use this variable, and the type of this variable is basically model. So this way we can directly use it, and it's basically a alternative of ng model, and it's a signal based basically this model is a signal based, and this is the new regular API which got introduced. So this is the new enhancement or new feature got introduced. And next is the netlist file loader. So what is this? It's basically for the it used for the development platform. Now what we have to do in the Angular side, angular.json file, what we have to do in the loader, we have to define the type. So if you will go here, and in the angular.json, what we have to do, we have to define the loader. So if you will say here, and here what we have to do, here we have to define the type. So where is that? After the style. So here what we can do, we can define under this one, how we will define it. So we have to define using the, so this way we can define it like loader type netlist file. So that is the use of this one. So it is basically we use it for the deployment purpose. Now the next one is the hydration debugging in the dev tool. So it identify and resolve data mismatch between the server render and the client hydrate content. If you can enable it, so basically you can enable it using the Angular dev tool setting, and you can use it. So this is the use of this one. The next, if I will talk, that is the Angular CLI now support bun package. Now what is this bun package is basically? So bun package is a fast all-in-one toolkit for installing, bundling, running and testing JavaScript and TypeScript. So that is the use of that. So now that is also supported under this 17.2. And apart from that, we have couple of the more enhancement that got introduced under this one. So once the final version of the Angular will release, we will understand all these things with an example and with the implementation. So that's it for this video. If you have any question and doubt, please comment. Thank you.